Hello there BookTube, how you doing? Today I'm going to be doing a little wrap-up video, yeah, I hope you find it interesting. And I'm also going to try something a bit different. I don't believe anyone has ever coined this before, but I'm going to be doing an MBR, which is not a TBR, it's not to be read, but it is may be read, MBR. So we'll see how that goes. But let's start off with just a quick overview of what I read this past month. The first one is, I think, the only one I don't have here physically with me, and that's Italo Calvino's complete Cosmicomics. It's sort of not quite sci-fi, kind of cartoonish, surreal stories about the beginning of the universe and about the laws of physics and things like that. Really weird, very goofy though, although sometimes a little mind-boggling. And I thought it was kind of mixed. If you want to hear more of my thoughts, I'll link a review I did a while back. And then on to some other things. I finished Red Comet by Heather Clark, her Sylvia Plath biography, and I was really impressed. This was supposed to be my really slow read for throughout the summer, and by the time I rolled into July, I could barely stop myself with this, so I think I spent 2 weeks maybe only reading this. I was probably reading other things, but in the first 2 weeks or so of July, I read maybe the last 600-700 pages of this, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, it seemed really fair, really honest, and I feel like she really left no stone unturned, not in a way that seems, I don't want to use the word gratuitous, but you know, it's not trying to get into stuff that you really don't want to know, but it's just making sure that she's doing right by the subject of her biography, and I think she does that really well. Yeah, I'd really recommend this if you have the time. It's really big. I think it comes out in paperback next year, because this hardback is really heavy. It puts on the floor. And then another sort of highlight of July was a group read I participated in, and that was a group read of 3 Men in a Boat. There's the title. And it was really fun. 3 Men in a Boat by Jerome, and yeah, it's just really funny, really great. I summed this up to myself as being just a perfect book for going on holiday with, and this edition I have is really nice and thin. It can go in a bag, and if I'm out, you know, camping or something, this would be an ideal book for me to have. It's it's nice and funny, and you know, it is kind of light and upbeat and really enjoyable in that way. But some bits of it are actually quite moving. And there are a few darker moments in it which really stood out and kind of shocking when they happened. But yeah, a really fun book. I really enjoyed it. It was great to do as a group read as well. It was, yeah, lots and lots of fun. Great bunch of people. And then the other book I completed in July was Sense and Sensibility. So I was supposedly participating in Jane Austen July. Reading a book by Jane Austen was the only prompt that I managed to complete, I think. I did the Jane Austen at home tag too, but I was moving house this month, so I wasn't reading as much as I would normally, and all our DVDs were packed up as well, so I have quite a few Jane Austen adaptations on DVD. But they were all packed up, so I didn't get to watch any as well, so that was really sad. But this was my first time reading Sense and Sensibility. I've enjoyed the adaptations I've watched, but I really enjoyed this, and really got me thinking about what I think about Jane Austen, and my approach to Jane Austen, and there are a few things that caught me by surprise in this too. So maybe I'll dwell on those a little bit and get back to you in a separate video, wholly devoted to maybe talking a bit about Sense and Sensibility and my thoughts about it. And then I'm going to do one, it's a bit cheeky because I technically read this in August. I read this yesterday, or yesterday for me as I'm filming. It's like the 2nd of August, but since I hadn't filmed this yet, I thought I'd include it. It was in the video I did on Tuesday, the tag video. That's The Invention of Morale by Adolfo Bioy Casares. Butchered that, didn't I? Anyway, it's really, really good. It's just an amazing, seemingly simple but quite intriguing, mysterious book about a man who is perhaps a convict on an island, and he's got to the island to kind of get away. He's been told it's deserted, that somebody built some buildings there back in the 1920s, but it's been deserted since 1924. And indeed he gets there, and all that's there is a massive 3-storey building that's labelled as or titled as a museum, even though it doesn't really look like a museum. It could be a grand hotel or something like that, but for some reason it's called the museum. And there's also a chapel and a swimming pool, and he's there, and then one day out of nowhere some people turn up, and he has to hide from these people because he thinks that they're going to blow his cover, and working out who these people are, why they're there, and eventually why they can't see him. And it's a very intriguing, mysterious novel. And that was it. That's all I've completed reading, in the past month. I have been reading more of Zbigniew Herbert's selected poems. I've been a bit slow with them. I've just been dipping in and out occasionally because 3 Men in a Boat, Sense and Sensibility, and read Comet got a lot more of my attention, but I've been really enjoying it. I've nearly finished it, so probably after filming this video I might go and finish this because I'm close to the end. But that really is it for this past month. Sorry, I'm moving forward to put the books on the floor. Yeah, that's it. So I'll move swiftly on to my MBR, my maybe read list. It's maybe a bit over the top, but these are books I want to at least attempt to read in the next month. So let's start with a few that I definitely really want to get to. Let's grab them. Yeah, these ones. So, number one, obviously I think it's come up recently, is the book of Disquiet. I will probably get to this probably immediately, I think now. I'll start reading it soon because I don't really have a novel on the go at the moment. So I might start that immediately. Then once I've finished Zbigniew Herbert, because I tend to try and have a book of poetry and a book of sort of prose or fiction going on at the same time. And so I'll start reading Samuel Taylor Coleridge's selected poetry. I think in, maybe not in any of the library tour videos I've put up yet, but definitely one of the forthcoming ones. I brought up a very slim selection of Coleridge's poetry in that. This is much more comprehensive. It's not as collected, complete poems. I did see that as right next to this in the bookshop, but this was marginally cheaper, and I thought, this will do. Yeah, it looks like it's got some good notes and an introduction and stuff like that in it. So I'm going to get onto that really soon. And then a couple of others that I'm aching to start reading. One is Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion. I have started this. I think I read a bit from it. I'm about 3 essays in, yeah, I might be dipping in and out of this throughout August. And once I finish the book of Disquiet, a bit of light reading to maybe cheer me up afterwards. I've got some Franz Kafka, The Castle. So yeah, that might be a nice fluffy little book to read after Pessoa. And then here are a few others that I would like to try and get to, hopefully in August, because I might have some time to read, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. So one I want to get to is Paul Muldoon's Maddock and Mystery. This is quite a chunky book of poems, but as you see, quite a lot of the pages don't have much on them. and it's I brought it up in the last video, or my tag video on Tuesday. I don't know if I'll put up any videos between, no yet, but it's essentially asking what would have happened if Samuel Taylor Coleridge and Robert Southey had actually gone ahead with sailing over to America and founding their pantasocracy. And it's kind of this weird speculative sequence of poems that looks at what that might have looked like, and it does so by this series of poems, little tiny poems that all have the titles of philosophers, writers and thinkers from all the way back in, I think, ancient Greece, all the way through. I think the very last one is, let's have a look, yeah, it's Hawking. So right through to the present day when he was writing this in the 90s. And this is kind of, I'm planning a PhD at the moment, and this might be one of the key texts in it, because I'm sort of looking about the way poets have reacted to ideas of utopianism, and this might be the book that I use to sort of guide me in that kind of direction, but I haven't read it all the way through yet, so it'd help if I'd read it. So, and just a few others that I might get to. Well, this is what I will get to. This is Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke. I'm doing this as a buddy read with Lukasz over at a Cruel Reader's Thesis, some point later in the month, I think, but yeah, that'll be fun. Don't know exactly when this month we'll do it, but I think he said he's going to be away in the sort of the first half of the month, so it'll be whenever he's back. And then just a few others that, these are, if I manage to get through those, I will try and read Kid by Simon Armitage. Again, this has come up a fair bit, and I've probably read most of the poems in here before, in his selected poems, but it's just nice to read the collection as it was put together. Then we have some Dostoevsky. I might try and read The Idiot, although Shelley Swearingen, I want to say, sorry if I got your surname wrong, Shelley, but I think she's planning all these sort of jokes about doing the biggest group read ever for all the people who've never read The Idiot by Dostoevsky, so I'll keep my ear to the ground about that, but maybe I'll start that soon. And then just a couple of others. If I finish the Coleridge and the Simon Armitage, I'll get round to this Penguin Poets 1 collection with Lawrence Durrell, Elizabeth Jennings and R.S. Thomas in it that I picked up a while ago. I think it was in my first ever book haul video. And then the last book, I'm quite embarrassed about this. I meant to read this in June, and I just keep pushing it back because there's other books I prefer to read. But it's Knausgaard, A Death in the Family. Because I still don't know whether Knausgaard is going to be someone who's for me or not. I've got the first one, and I just want to see. Yeah, but I think maybe part of me is a little scared about jumping into Knausgaard. So yeah, we'll just see. It might get pushed back into September. You never know. But that's my August MBR and my wrap up for July. Don't know what I was doing with my arms there. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you're doing really well wherever you are. It is nice and warm here, and I'll probably go and read some Zbigniew Herbert now, and then maybe later go for a walk. But that's all for now. Hope you're doing really well, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.